We have the world's smartest listeners. The world's smartest listeners. I was mentioning about the fact that Tom Jones had been married for decades, and although his wife knew that he had several flings and trysts, actually, one of our smartest listeners, Agnes, sent me this, which I thought was interesting. His wife unfortunately died a couple years ago. She died actually 3 years ago in April of 2016. They were married from March of 1957 until her death on the 10th of April, 2016. And in my book, that's almost 60 years. 60 years.
Yeah, she put up with a lot.
and according to this bio, it says,
she did.
The one sentence said, they stayed married despite his many well-publicized infidelities. And I'm telling you, I heard this interview with him. I can't remember if it was on NPR or where I heard it, but it was fascinating because the interviewer asked him that exact question. And he just really came out and said, you know what? I don't know why she stays with me. I've been untrue to her and many times. And I mean, I'm paraphrasing what he said, obviously. But it was like, okay, you give me a room at 100 women and you say, okay, here's this guy. Won't mention names. Won't say it's Tom Jones because some people would say, I'd let Tom Jones slide. But we'll just say, okay, ladies, here's a guy that is married to this woman, and he has had many affairs, many of them well publicized. Would you stay married with him? How many of those women in that room would say, oh yeah, I'd stay married with him?
People stay married for a lot of various reasons. But
the majority of women, do you think the majority of women would go like, yeah, I'd keep him?
I guess it really, you don't know what goes on behind people's closed doors, Brad.
Yeah, but once again, you hear about this all the time. How many times have I heard, women say, I had a lady the other day that she's telling me her life story. I'm calling on her on a sales call, and she tells me about, I married a younger man, and I thought that was great, but now, 3 years ago, I found out he was having an affair with a much younger woman, and I'm divorced. And I'm going like, okay, first off, why is she telling me this? Second off, and I didn't, the follow-up question was, well, so just like one affair, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about that. But, once again, you're saying that some women go like, yeah, if he had 10 affairs, I still love him.
Some women are like that.
Okay.
You don't know what's going on behind. You don't know what their dynamic was. You don't know.
Well,
you just don't know.
I hear what you're saying.
Speculate.
But I say that once again, if you randomly select 100 women and bring them into a room and have a little Q&A with them, I say that if you propose the fact that, let's theoretically you're married and you find out your husband's having an affair, once a month with a different woman, how long would you stay married with him? And I think most of them would say, I would be on the phone to my attorney within the hour. I think that's, I'd say that's just me. I don't have any, that's just conjecture on my part. I don't have anything to back it up other than the fact that I think that that's the case with most women. Now, the flip side of that is that, if you asked 100 men, that would be an interesting thing as well, too. But mostly you hear about the fact that, the women are the ones that are like, being cheated on. But it's always fascinating to me that, when you look at that, it's like, okay, it takes two to tango. So the women these guys are having affairs with, are they married? Are they single? What's their relationship? You know what I mean?
Again, you do not know. Again, you walk over to Swing Haven. Take a pineapple with you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Swing Haven. Yeah, or from what I've heard, Old Town or New Town now. New Town is the. But
New
anyway.
Town has the Old Town vibe.